But look Sarah in the eyes. She wasn't there.
Take my advice and return Sarah to the grave.
Don Constantine.
I need your help.
What your sister needs is a restoration of her soul to her body.
What if something goes wrong?
If things go wrong, then we'll all be too dead to care. On with the show.
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. The moment is finally here. We have Constantine footage for Arrow next week, so this is going to be a breakdown of that, as well as the Q&A from Flash and Arrow this week. Good stuff first. Constantine on Arrow. What does this mean for the future of the character, and what does this mean for the larger DC TV universe? When Matt Ryan was hired to come on Arrow this year, it was just the deal for this one episode. They didn't sign a multi-episode deal. But he could come back. Matt Ryan is totally happy to play the character again. He's a totally awesome dude. He's starting a play on Broadway with Keira Knightley, and he's filming a movie soon. So I don't know how long it's going to be before he comes back. But because they were able to make this deal, I think it means that they'll be able to make deals like this in the future. The deal itself was only for Matt Ryan though, so none of the other Constantine characters are going to come on, but he might tell some jokes about his friends from air quotes back home. But time is short, so he's mostly being brought on to bind Sarah's soul back to her body. That's like the whole deal, is that she doesn't have a soul right now. Matt Ryan was asked what's different about this version of Constantine than the version that he did on the NBC show. He said it's essentially the same character, same outfit, but he's doing a couple things that he did not do on the NBC show. It's a little more spectacular. Like, I mean, if you're gonna bring a character this big on Arrow, of course they're gonna have some fun with him. He did say some specific things about the action sequences, but I'll leave that for Wednesday, just in the interest of not spoiling things. But just in terms of the future of the Constantine TV show, I'm not expecting that to go to CW anytime soon. They already have problems fitting all the shows that they've bought into their schedule right now. Legends of Tomorrow presents a bit of a problem for them because their spring schedule is already full. So in order to air Legends of Tomorrow, they're going to have to push one of their other shows already. So I don't think they have room for Constantine right now. But he's a big DC character, so there's always going to be reboots down the road. So like at some point, there will be another Constantine TV show. But for the time being, what I think that they'll do is just try to use him in these CW shows. The next logical step would be to use him in Legends of Tomorrow, in like a big blockbuster episode. That's like the big summer disaster movie version of these DC TV shows. They're doing fewer episodes, so they're spending a little bit more money on each one. So if they were to bring Constantine on, he could do crazier and crazier stuff than he could ever do on a smaller budget. But if you're still confused about what's going on, there is no Constantine TV show in the works at CW. Like there's no talks going on about that. And this is just a one-off deal for now. But the writers will bring anyone on that DC will let them bring on. Like people ask them, can you bring Batman on the show? They're like, we would love to bring Batman on if Warner Brothers and DC would let us. So yeah, you'll definitely see Constantine on Flash and Arrow after this week, but maybe not till next season. So on to Q&A territory, just careful for spoilers from Flash and Arrow this past week if you haven't seen the episodes yet. And there weren't that many questions from the Flash, mostly just people wanting to see King Shark fight other big CG villains from DC. Like here we go, Christian Bernard asks, imagine King Shark versus Grodd. King Shark hands down the biggest WTF in my book. This season is so exciting. Yeah, King Shark versus Grodd would be amazing, and they are bringing Grodd on pretty soon, but I don't really know what their budget allows for in terms of CG fights. If you remember last season, whenever Grodd came on and the Flash fought him, there were portions where it was Grant Gustin interacting with a green screen device, and then there were fully CG scenes where it was like Grant Gustin fighting Grodd at super speed. That's when they go full CG Flash. I always feel like their level of special effects is good enough so that if you don't use it too much and you don't do faces in close-up, it looks perfect. It's totally good. Next question, Fab Robin asks, I thought Francine's son was Daniel West, the New 52 Zoom. Yeah, the Flash TV show tends to blend a lot of different runs of the comics. The Wally West of Earth 1, like the Iris's brother that she was talking about in the episode, will be Wally West. He will become Kid Flash at a certain point. Now remember, even before the New 52, there are a couple different iterations of Wally West. You have the first version who became Kid Flash. He wore like the red costume that looked just like Barry Allen's. Then he started wearing the yellow costume. Then after Crisis on Infinite Earths, he started wearing the red costume again after he took the mantle from Barry Allen, became like full-blown Flash. So because they're going with the character that looks like the New 52 version of Wally West, the African-American Wally West, I have no idea what his costume might look like at a certain point, no idea when he's going to get Flash powers, but he will be Kid Flash first. Now that says nothing about what's going on Earth 2. I'm just talking about Earth 1 Wally West. Next question, Bradley asks, will Ronnie be back? Yeah, he will definitely be back. Robbie Amell will come back on the show, but we don't know what form that's going to take. The producer said flat out that our version of Ronnie died whenever they were closing the wormhole. So when we see Robbie Amell again, it'll either be a flashback or it'll be Earth 2 Ronnie. On to Arrow questions. Here we go. Wilford asks, could you talk about how much Oliver of the CW universe could look like Oliver of the comics? Is there any chance of him becoming the comical, long-haired, with the goatee husband of Black Canary Oliver we all know from the comics? Well, I don't know how close he'll get to Oliver of the classic comics. They always change iterations whenever they reboot the comics. So post-Convergence, I haven't been reading Green Arrow, so I don't know how they've changed the character again. He is sporting more facial hair right now, but I don't know if he'll go full Oliver beard, and I don't think that his actual hair, like on top of his head, will ever get any longer than it is right now. But physical appearance any side, his actual character is getting a little bit more laid back, a little bit more used to the team, a little bit more humorous, a little bit closer to his Justice League persona. Now, in terms of his relationship with Black Canary, I don't see his relationship with Laurel changing anytime soon on the show. One of the problems with having like two characters on a team have sex with each other is that it can pull the show towards melodrama when it's really meant to be more of a crime drama. Next question, Martin asks, how is it possible that Oliver never wins fights anymore? I think it's because he's too trusting. People catch him off guard. Like if he's fully prepared, no, like there's no way you're gonna beat him. But I think a lot of people were upset with the last episode with the quickness with which Lady Cop was able to dispatch him. One of the problems with filming stuff like that is that they might have written it a certain way on the page to make it look like she got the upper hand on Oliver in a dirty way, and when they film it, that doesn't really come across. So just think of her as fighting dirty, catching Oliver off guard. And she did jam that knife into his spine, so he was completely immobilized. Like, no matter how strong he was, he wouldn't have been able to do anything. That moment really wasn't about the fight at all. It was really just getting her character to jump over that moral hurdle, to realize, okay, I'm a human being, I'm not a terrible person, I'll turn myself in. So that's what they were going for, but it may not have come across the way it was filmed. Thank you everyone that submitted questions on the videos this week though. And if you do want me to use your question in a Q&A, be sure to use Jeopardy rules and phrase your comment in the form of a question. Congratulations to this week's giveaway winner, the Reverse Flash Ring, Astrophysics43. Just be sure to private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact info. So what's happening next is there's Gotham and Supergirl on Monday. I'm probably going to post my Gotham video first. And if you didn't see the last Supergirl video I posted like a trailer video for episode 2. I said that I'm probably going to be doing Supergirl videos on Thursdays, so they'll be a little bit different from my typical top 5 WTF videos that I do for episodes. But just stay tuned for the next Supergirl video I post. It'll completely explain everything. But if you're confused about when videos are posting, just follow me on Twitter and Facebook. That's usually where I post updates. Oh, and just a heads up, normally Game of Thrones will be posting on Sundays. I'm just moving that to Monday, just because everything's been backed up with me moving to a new apartment this week. So no worries, still Game of Thrones coming. So there is new Walking Dead tonight. While you guys wait for that and everything else to post, you can click here for my Flash episode 5 trailer, bunch of Zoom, bunch of Dr. Light, and you can click here for that Supergirl trailer video I talked about. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.